Let's look at some simple strategies to create wealth. Welcome to Subramani. So, one huge advantage of starting early in life, suppose you start your equity investing at the age of 22. The advantage is you have less to lose, and immediately if there is a market crash or something like that, you learn with very small stakes. How much money could a 23-year-old lose of his own money? If he's managing family well, then it's a different thing. But his own money can't be much, right? 23, 24 is a great age to start. I started at 17, of course, with my father's money, and had very, very little of my own money. But the thing is, if the market goes through a bad time, you still can look at your future value of your present of your earnings, or rather the present value of your future earnings, and feel okay, I'm going to earn maybe a lot of money during my lifetime, so this fall in the portfolio doesn't hurt me. So starting early impacts two things. One is the power of N in your portfolio. Second, the learning, the expensive learning happens with smaller corpus, right? It is a huge corpus. It is maybe 50% of your corpus, but in absolute terms, it is still small. Whereas a 10% corpus of a 55-year-old could be much bigger. So the losses happen at a younger age. That is a huge advantage. Have patience and the ability to be disciplined in your investing. Largely the returns that you get or the total wealth that you create is a function of how early you invest and how much you invest. So if a person who can save 20% of his income will have more money than a guy who is saving 10% of his income. So as much as possible, pitch for as high a figure as possible, invest in equities and just let it be there. Don't interrupt the compounding over extremely long periods of time. That is how family heirlooms and wealth is created. When you look at the Birlas, when you look at the Jindals or any of them, please understand this is many, many years of compounding. So when you talk of the Birlas, you're talking of 178 years of compounding wealth. That is huge, right? Now they don't have to do anything. The wealth will anyway create wealth for itself, right? So have that conviction and have that patience and discipline to say, I know compounding works better in the latter years, so right now I will not look at it on a regular basis. After 7, 8 years, 10 years maybe, I will look at how much is the return that I have got. Of course, you are going to look at the return on a more regular basis, but convince yourself when you are looking at the mutual fund statement, you will not look at the value that has accumulated. You will only look at the number of units that you are getting on a monthly basis. If you learn to do this, the periods when the market is bad, you will actually get more units and you will get excited by the fact that you got more units rather than looking at the total. You need not look at the total when you're that young because your goals are far away. So let's come to some other steps. This is what you should be doing, but the more important step perhaps is to read about goal setting. Goal setting is very important. You're very clear that this money is something which you require for your retirement, which means if you're 25, you require this money after 40 years or 35 years in the Indian context. Then very clearly your mind should say, this is the money required after 35 years, I need not look at it now. Let us assume you're married and you have a child and you're looking at child's education when she is 18. Right now she's 1 year old, she's a toddler, which means you've got 17 years for this goal. And so write down your goals. I think this is the most important thing to do. And then identify the instruments which are required. Now you say 3 years later you need about 5 lakhs to put your kid in a good college, good school. So that money should go obviously into some kind of debt fund with a 3-year horizon, and you put away maybe 1.5 lakhs per year. So that end of 3 years, you have approximately 5 lakhs for your daughter's school admission, right? So when you have clear silos built in, you have the patience, you have the discipline, and you have the visibility that you require money only at that stage, you are likely to be more at peace. Learn about equity markets and build the conviction yourself. You cannot build the conviction based on somebody else's success. You have to believe that if you buy Infosys, if you buy a TCS, if you buy a Titan, or if you buy a Honda or a Hero Motors or a Bajaj Auto, you will make money, and it has to be your experience which will help you during bad periods. It cannot be somebody else's conviction. It cannot be reading my blog and therefore you're investing in equities and therefore conviction will come. Yes, it might come, you have to build up, but it is your conviction. If you surround yourself with people who are waiting to say, I told you, don't invest in equities, change the circle of friends. That is perhaps more important than reading 100 books on equity investing. Be with friends who also invest in equities, who lose money, who make money, and who have the discipline to have been in markets for long enough. Maybe somebody who's been there for 50, 60 years can help you better than a person who's been there for 3-4 months and tells you how to trade and a lot of nonsense like that, right? So having done the patience and the discipline bit, the other advantage of starting early is your appetite for risk keeps developing. Because when you're 25, maybe you have 1 lakh. When you're 28, maybe you have 2.5 lakhs. Maybe you're 40, you have 2-3 crores. By the time you're 55, you have developed into a 10 crore portfolio. Now what has happened is your appetite for risk and the understanding of risk both have developed, and by the time you're 55, you know that a 10% fall in the market can mean 5 crores. That is huge, but it is only 10%, right? So you then, having developed the risk appetite over a long period of time, your conviction stays there. When you are not convinced, you then start looking for excuses. You call up Subra and say, Subra, it is my son's wedding after 3 years. That's nonsense, right? You have decided to panic and you're looking for excuses. That is completely different. And if you wanted to spend money on your son's wedding, that is all fine. Why didn't you get up much earlier? Your son is not born today, right? He was born maybe 28 years before. So you knew you would get married. So last 5 years you could have put some money away in a debt fund or somewhere else. You could have kept it saying, okay, I will use that money for the wedding, right? So don't look for excuses to withdraw. That normally happens because you don't have conviction about your investment. Diversify your funds and make sure you invest in large cap, mid cap, small cap. It doesn't really matter too much, but it will give you mental satisfaction and the ability to handle the pressure from the press saying, oh my God, it's not diversified as fund at all and all that nonsense. It doesn't really matter. Even if you are just in the BSE Sensex, your 100 would have become about 62,000 by now, including investments of the dividends or dividend reinvestment, right? So building your own, understanding equity markets, building your own conviction, these are all, then build a solid foundation from where you can withdraw in case of an emergency. Don't think your emergency fund can be in equities, especially a young equity portfolio. If your equity portfolio is less than 10 years old, that can't be your place to withdraw for an emergency. You need to have debt. However, if you have a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old equity portfolio, you can afford to be in equity because a lot of those equities would be bought at some historically low cost. So even in a bad market, withdrawing from such a portfolio will not hurt much, right? So emergency funds in retirement, well, it can be done. It's not too bad. Get good quality fund managers to manage your money. Don't try doing it on your own, except when you're very young and the amount at stake is very small, then you could do it. But I don't like this idea of a DIY for somebody who has 5 crores or 2.5 crores to manage because one mistake and your retirement could get postponed for life, right? So be careful about that. I think if you do all these things, you will be on the right path and with the right strategy to create wealth. Thank you.